Joanne Bessette, Sylvester Road, Northampton. Northampton's current zoning law, section 350-15.4, bans landfills in all of Northampton's water supply protection districts, except for the landfill expansion in the water supply protection district over the Barnes Aquifer. So you understand that Northampton has 4 water supply protection districts, and 3 of them, landfills are banned, but in this one, over the Barnes Aquifer, there is an exemption. The landfill expansion is referred to as the sanitary landfill that has a site assignment permit. The landfill expansion was given a site assignment by the Northampton Board of Health in 2006, and that was before any of the risk assessment studies on health, air quality, water quality, and the environment were even done. Those studies were done in 2008 and 2009 and are ongoing in 2010. The citizen-sponsored zoning amendment removes this exemption for a landfill in a water supply protection district. And then all water supply protection districts in Northampton will ban landfills, just as all water supply protection districts in Massachusetts ban landfills, because landfills have the highest contaminant threat to the water supply. In the late 1960s, Edson White, an engineer hired by the city of Northampton, warned against siting a landfill over the Barnes Aquifer, stating it would lead to contamination. Another engineer, Almer Huntley, working for proponents of the landfill, stated this would be a state-of-the-art sanitary landfill and would not cause contamination. The city fired Edson White and put the landfill over the aquifer, and this is the existing landfill off of Glendale Road today. What happened? Contamination of the wetlands, Hannah Brook, and the aquifer have all occurred. The Mass DEP Office of Research and Standards has stated that landfill contamination of the Hannah Brook and wetlands qualifies as an environmental hazard. The Barnes Aquifer Protection Advisory Committee has reviewed water quality data that shows increasing landfill leachate contamination. Wetlands down gradient of the landfill show marked elevations in the level of arsenic, which is known to be mobilized by landfill leachate. None of this was discussed in the recent Board of Public Works resolution. Will history repeat itself? Currently, a city-hired engineer, Dr. Shanahan, has discussed a contaminant transport model that predicts little to no contamination if the landfill expands over the aquifer. But Dr. Newton from the Barnes Aquifer Protection Advisory Committee has also developed a contaminant transport model that predicts contamination of the aquifer is likely if the landfill expands. Officials from Mass DEP have stated they can't guarantee there will not be contamination of the aquifer. Again, these concerns were not mentioned in the Board of Public Works resolution. In 2006, the former Mass DEP Commissioner Bob Golich gave the first ever waiver to site a landfill over an aquifer and in the Zone 2 recharge area for a public well. He said, on the one hand, a landfill with the highest contaminant threat rating to the water supply can be sited over the aquifer. But on the other hand, the aquifer must be protected by a water supply protection district. This is inconsistent. I've spoken with current officials at the Mass DEP about this, and they've told me they don't want a landfill in a water supply protection district, since all water supply protection districts in Massachusetts ban landfills. So even if the landfill expansion proposal proceeds through the local permitting process, it is not a given that the proposal will obtain the authorization to construct permit from the Mass DEP. Also, litigation can occur at the local government and at the state level, which would tie up the landfill expansion proposal for many years, and Northampton and other communities will have to find other means of trash disposal. So in conclusion, the voters have spoken against the landfill expansion. There is no guaranteed landfill revenue to pay for the millions of dollars the city will have to borrow, and that will put Northampton taxpayers at considerable risk, especially in these economic times. There are affordable alternatives, from increased recycling, composting, and reuse. In fact, the Sustainable Plan for Northampton wants a 75% recycling rate in Northampton in just a few years. We haven't seen that program yet. In this economy, there are potentials for getting volume discounts on curbside trash collection. We've heard that it could be up to 40% or more. And this would be a great savings to Northampton taxpayers. There are 3 other landfills in the area that are not over aquifers and not within Zone 2s. That includes South Hadley, Granby, and Chicopee. And there is available space there. Any additional fuel costs would be offset by the volume discounts and by improved recycling, which would lead to less trash to carry away. In the end, Northampton taxpayers can actually save money and avoid further litigation. The best protection for the Barnes Aquifer and the environment is no landfill expansion, and to work to clean up the contaminant threats that already exist. Northampton, as a community with a reputation for caring about the environment, should not become the first and the only community in the entire state that exempts a landfill in a water supply protection district. Thank you.
Thank you.